Good morning. Welcome to 2025. So we have the potential for this retest and failure pattern developing here. Many markets. Yes. Question is, can it hold? Each attempt to do that so far has failed. And so last week, the thought was, can it come down here and test that low, which would have been ideal. So I don't think we still don't have the ideal setup as far as the S&P futures go, but sometimes they make a higher low. We'll see if it can close green. As you can see on the 5-minute chart, it's starting to make a little dive here. Still 25 minutes to go to the open. Why is it diving? Look to the left. 65-minute chart. Pivot high, pivot high. That's where it broke down from. Obvious place where there's going to be sellers. And so now what we will be looking for today is, can this stay up here? Jiggle around. I got to fix this thing, however it's drawing. Stay up here in the upper end of the range to where it might be able to break out. Or does it, the further it comes down here in the morning, obviously, the lower the probability that it's going to do that. So, bottom line is, this is the middle of the range right here on the 65-minute, the middle of that bar. Ideally, it stays above the opening price, which you can see the cursor there on the 65-minute where it lines up. And so any dips down below there brings it back up. But again, the most bullish pattern would be for it to jiggle around up in this area. Could be a couple of hours, just based on this time frame, that it would hang around up here and then potentially break out and move up into tomorrow. I just think looking at the alignment of multiple time frames, how it's acting here, it's more or less what it would take into that time period. So we got a weekly chart still in an uptrend. We do have, get another drawing thing out here, because I don't like that thing, what it's doing. Easily recognizable head and shoulders type of a pattern here. And we'll see how that develops, over today and tomorrow. We got 2 days in the end of the week right? So, we'll see where this goes, whether it can close green, whether it can close above a prior day's high, whether it closes below that low, or just sideways price action. And where did it put my, hate this thing. There we go. All right. As we always do, we look at other markets. I got to erase that. We got a similar pattern on the Qs here, NASDAQ futures. Not that similar, but you can see a new high failure and a lower high. It's down at the pivot, rallied up to resistance. Sellers are coming in here, and then we're looking for it to jiggle around or whatever it's going to do. Right? So, now, the theme from last year was there were markets that led the way down, like the Russell, like regional banks, like transports, and theoretically, historically, they have a higher probability of hanging down here, making a turn. Buyers come in, since this is extended to the downside, the others aren't. Just basic common sense, looking to the left, support, resistance, extended in an area of stronger support, more pivot lows down here, closer down where it touched close to the retest, trying to make a turn. You can see it's a little bit better structure on the 65-minute chart, where it's actually up above some of that resistance, and it's got room to move higher. So this is the more attractive pattern. This is not making the same dive, coming down as hard as the Qs and the ES. another way of just simply measuring relative strength, which is this is showing relative strength. Over here, it showed relative weakness. Dow, similarly, that came down, came down hard. It's exceeded these pivot highs that we saw, the SES and then Qs could not. It's coming up to the next level. And so this is going to run into resistance as well, but it's holding up relatively well here. Right. Other markets, gold, still a mess, more of a day trader's market, not for swings, but we'll see. I'd like to see how this holds up now that it's at this pivot high and at this resistance, what it's going to do here. The weekly is still in an uptrend. Obviously, it came down real hard, but reversed real hard. And so now it's kind of working through the uncertainty of what occurred, the big range expansion, the big down and up. And so we'll look for this to begin to tighten up. Now, oil has been kind of strange, last year, where, for a few months we talked about it being down here at the bottom of the range. I'll just look at the monthly chart for a sec. And, it was hanging down here. And is it going to break and it form that topping tail bar? And then, so far it's held. And now on the daily time frame, just pointing out here, the topping tail bar is right over here. And this has entered what we call the void. It went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And now it's moving up through those pivots. It had that little hook pattern. And so, well, this is a wide range bar. It's several days up, wide range bar, and it's coming up to that pivot. I think it'll stall. It's just, the type of pattern produces that bias or belief. The 5 minutes starting to form a little topping tail. It's really not a big deal. But, one of the concepts is, after several bars up in a wide range bar, now this day is just beginning. I don't know. It could become wider, right? This isn't an uptrend. And so this creating this little support area here, right? You just, common sense. We've got a major support on the 5-minute chart. And we'll see if this pulls back, does it hold? And if it does, that's positive. Silver broke down. It's just a mess, but it came down kind of hard. Can it hold here? Do we get a green bar? Wait and see. Now, interest rates, they came up toward this resistance area. So this has been putting some pressure on the markets. And now it's here and a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of relief. Markets are trying to hold what we looked at. We'll see if they do. So we start this first day, trading day of the year, with looking at these retest patterns, and what a question is whether they can hold or not. And from a swing trading perspective, it's just a wait and see. And if they do, then we have other information to say, hey, do we want to now put on some put spreads? Do we want to take some directional trades in some of these, like IWM? Does it hold up after the retest? So that's gapping up here, as you can see, gapping above the height of prior day's bar into some resistance. And, the futures don't always match what's happening on, the ETF. So you can see the cursor on the 65-minute is up at those pivots. Maybe it can get a bit higher, but, we just have a trading range so far. So, you mark that off, mark it off. And then what I'll do on my other system, like this, is for red and green. And then on this platform, you just do that and I'll apply it everywhere. And now on my intraday charts, it'll mark that area off. And so as part of the factory work there, I see where it's up there. So if it should get up there, I know that that's where sellers are going to be. A little smaller trading range. We'll see if it can get through that. 20 declining, coming through the 50, a downtrend at support. giant trading range, smaller trading range within a giant trading range? What way is this going to work out? Right? That's the question, as the year begins, is that these big nasty drops, they should stabilize. Can they form a retest? We trade those, right? How spreads directionally, you know, and then where do we go from there into the new year? Transports got collapsed, you know, relative weakness, showing the relative strength. Can it make a turn? There's a lot of damaged indices, right? A lot of them where things were looking so great. Right? This was moving up. It broke out. The Dow was up there to all-time highs. Other markets were, the FANG stocks, money came into them again at the end of the year. Now they got a little double top, and these are showing relative weakness today, a little open here, but you see the weekly chart. Is that the weekly or the monthly? Um, weekly is extended and should pull back. So we've got a lot of mixed messages, mixed bag. So we choose, at this time it looks like if interest rates are coming down, some of these, well, we already know some of these are already stabilizing. And will they be able to lift up for a little while before sellers want to come in again? And will sellers want to come in again? Yeah. I mean, the way things came down on, the Dow and the transports and the Russell and the regional banks and all of the broken down, at least on daily charts, broken down sectors, yeah, sellers are going to come in again. So spiders, we look at where they're at, gapping up toward the top of the red bar. It's a good start to the day. See if it can hold on. Again, broke down trading range, head and shoulders top within the range. Expectations are not big. Right, let's cut to the chase and just, everything we're looking at. But how do we get to that point? Well, we look at all of this and we come to and do the analysis that, look, there isn't a large expectation for a substantial move one way or the other here today. But, for an intraday move, yeah, maybe it gets up to the 50 or a little bit more. I'll just look at our internals quickly. They're neutral. Um, breadth improved a bit. It's still below zero. Our sentiment gauges are neutral, so no advantage there. And lastly, I'll look at SPX. So there are the strikes for today. I'll see if they moved a bit because these things jiggle around. Since they came down a little bit, they may have come down one strike. 30. Yeah, so that's what I thought. They came down. So one strike one way or another. Sometimes one strike is like, saves you. And this probably came down to 90. No, it did not. Okay. All right. Will it get up here? All right. What is a credit spread about? Do I think it will get to one level? Yes or no? Why not? Yes. All right. Or no, why not? I don't think it'll get up there today. Highly unlikely it's going to get up there. Is it a no-brainer? I think it's close to a no-brainer. Can it get down here after gapping up there? Yeah. So, my thing's coming down a little bit. I don't think it's highly unlikely it's going to get up to that call strike today. So, there you have it. We'll see what today brings. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. Yep, Happy New Year. And yeah, so unfortunately, remember I said on Tuesday, you always got to be alert weekends and holidays and things for people doing stupid shit like we unfortunately saw in Vegas, California, New York, when markets still had this big gap up. Um, the 5-minute cues and spiders look almost identical. And the diamonds and IWM are holding the best here. So I glance at my Dow 30. Everything is green. There's, two kind of flattish. And then Apple down just over $1. So that with Tesla is what's bringing those mags down, because the other mags are up a little bit. But Tesla just had their delivery release, which is a big news item for them. So whenever you're trading Tesla, you got to keep that delivery number in mind. Similar to Costco when they have their monthly same store sales thing. So I wrote out a couple other EV stocks that reported deliveries. LI, this could be the formation of a big bottom, all time frames. Could be. Look, daily, weekly, monthly, but I have enough to watch. Neo looks. Look, it attempted to break out. All moving averages are down. This looks horrible. So I'm sure there's a fundamental reason behind that. XPAD looks bad, gapping down. So BYD. And that's it. So alarms going off. XME, I guess, had an up alarm go off. As Greg said, I did a bunch of climos and retests, and there's different flavors of these retests, like always. XLE were actually in, that had the best reversal and close. The majority of the others are still, working on an attempted turn, but I got alarms on a bunch of climos. Yeah, I'm in this dig, as you know, and I added on Friday. I think that was my only my only directional add myself. So that should gap up nicely. You can look at a level 1. Couple miscellaneous finish alarms going off. W whiskey. Over again these holidays. Today's Thursday. So sometimes I want to keep over this green bar. You figure out what day of the week it is. Monday. I like that as a put spread. It's a new low reversal. Buy setup weekly. TLT. Up alarm went off. We have a put spread on this. SRAD. It's a big old bull rectangle with kind of a new low reversal here. It's not a textbook 1, 2, 3, but my up alarm went off. Let's watch that. And this X deal blasted on news on the other day. I was trying to sell puts, but they were so spready, I did not get filled. Here's a couple upgrade downgrades. Mod G. Bullish gap, and a nasty downtrend. LMT, I think, got an upgrade, but I don't see any prints. Ugly downtrend, but you got a small little retest here. Vichy, I forget why I'm watching this. Maybe an upgrade. I guess some of these hotels, and there's a number of patterns that they're retest after breaking down and have a void. So if the markets do start selling off again, we'll be looking, kind of patterns like that. See, there's a void. The other one's better. H I actually have an up alarm up here. 159 for a put spread maybe. Cat, we had a, let's see, here's another retest pattern. And I just got us out at a small profit on Tuesday to avoid the risk. But I got an alarm up here. If it takes it out, then let's see, another put spread idea. And all the four horsemen, I said on Telegram, 30-minute high, they're put spread candidates. So no rush. We'll see how they hold up. Monitor them in the first hour. Here's another one. I got an up alarm, a little new low possible reversal. Put spread idea, Whirlpool. Uniform, big old gap. Look at that. But see, we're getting these retest patterns everywhere, but and it's a buy setup on the weekly. So let's let it settle down. Ideally, it'll just retrace for the next 2 to 3 days in a bullish manner, and then pivot, and then maybe we can buy an hourly breakout. That would be my ideal scenario. I can show this thing to Greg pre-market. We're gonna next Wednesday's MT Live. We're gonna be talking about trading stocks under $10. And man, oh man, oh man, look at this little gap breakout. Look at this buy setup. Look at this continuation gap. This one was easy to trade. And I think we did. We might have only been in it 2 days or something. But I remember that pattern in the symbol. All right, let me go up now. These were a couple short ideas from Sammy Boy. Well, no, AYI, we were short last week and we took our money, but I kept it on my list. But now with the gap, I'm going to take it off. Sam gave us this one, CMI. This one I don't like for a swing because of the reward to risk, and it's a buy setup. But you can set an alarm at 347. Then maybe 30-minute low. Should I also like, you had a failed breakout, you had a gap breakdown. It's just not sure of the void of how big the target would be, but I would say target this pivot to the gap fill somewhere in here. So I got an alarm on should. XEL, little sell setup here. But again, this is a problem I had all week in last weekend's letter. This is a sell setup, but you had a buy setup on the bigger time frame. So for these to work, you need like a failed, a continuation pattern lower into the void. So I still like this one, but it has to trigger. And if it is gapping up here, then that's better. Ka, the same. Little sell setup here. Whiskey Yankee, another Climo. My up alarm went off. So that's worth watching. Let me put that here, Whiskey Yankee. Oh, I put Adobe here in the bottom right. Adobe, we're already in it long, but over this pivot, I posted it as a put spread. This was a 1, 2, 3 that triggered that day, and it's just been doing nothing. But the fact that it held the upper 50% of that is good. It's supply and demand. After this collapse, you can see where the fundamental people are saying that it has value there. Alex, this was yours. Top of the range. I'm hoping it chops around. But I like the weekly, monthly. It's not a core. This is not a core pattern, but they're in alignment. Beautiful bottoming pattern on the weekly with a void. So it's just, I don't like the entry on the daily here. EPD, another retest pattern, higher low on 3160. I don't know, maybe 30-minute high. I'll put it in a window, other computer. EPD. MT, another retest pattern over. So it's opening flat here. So now I like it over Tuesday's high. I'm gonna set an alarm at 23:25. I always set alarms early, unless they're posted officially. And not a big target, it's just a retest of a Climo. But we're swing traders, and if it bounces 1 to 4 days, if it gets to that declining 20, that would be a nice trade. And I know NUE is similar. This one's a tad weaker. I wish that a bottoming tail that took out that prior low for directional. We have a put spread that expires tomorrow, so we're kind of holding our breath here. But for a directional, I still like it, but it has to get over that topping tail. Yeah, I did already. Yeah, I did already. I was trying to sell puts on this breakout. My alarm went off. I'm like, wow, I just thing's rocking. My alarm was over the high of this red bar. So there was news on W. We talked about regional bank gapping up, maybe 30-minute high. I checked for a put spread and just ridiculous spreads, just like XLE. Those used to be tradable. I don't know. I mean, it's like crazy, like 0 by $3. This is sloppy. Greg mentioned watching that one. All right, NUE up alarm. So that's good for a put spread. IYT up alarm. So that's a retest pattern. We're in that one also. CNC up alarm. We're in this one. Kind of been dead money. But I like the pre-market. I like, the first 30 seconds. I'll set new alarms on these. Wow, IWM just kerplunked right into the open. Wow. So we're in no hurry. Which I prefer when you get 100 alarms going off. It's more difficult. So I'll set an alarm at 6170. And a low alarm 6040. XLU alarm, I know what that looks like. It's another Climo retest. I didn't like the void though. It would be a no-brainer put spread, but again, no juice. Here, Alex says W whiskey. This could be a great 30-minute high if it just bobbles around here. HRI alarm, another retest. Not sure what the target would be. No volume. Look at that, it just shows one print. I got an alarm on Adobe, so I don't need it. XME alarm, there you go. See, that's a good new low reversal. So 30-minute high, I like that. So why is a vanilla rule? Do I like this 30-minute high? It's just a starting point, but it means let's see if it can hold this opening gap and not fall apart. And let the market stabilize tick 1400. That's positive.
Home building stocks and home construction, these interest rates coming down. They're not the greatest patterns. I mean, like these W's, like Home Depot, Toll. can see probably Lennar. Yeah, Lennar. They got some resistance there, but if interest rates stay low, they're going to bring up the rear.
Sam, tell Greg that Toll is a cookie company. They make
That's Toll House.
whole cookies. Yeah, these are all. Yeah, I think this would be a great one DTE or
And if they create that product this year where we have zero DTEs on these liquid stocks, I get excited for that.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, just the one caveat is, we need some juice, juice in it,
Always. Yeah.
right? But yeah, the usual suspects, so Teslas, Google's, Amazon's, Netflix, they'll always have them. Microsoft. It's just Apple became the cheapo. Apple and Meta are Meta. All the fangs are falling apart here. Other than Nvidia, Nvidia's the best of the fangs right now. All right, 385. Well, the spreads are too spready. Alarm 393. And look at his cousin. Hello. There you go. The cousin. Yeah, this would be fantastic. One DT year.
Speaking out to Frenchie on social media there. Like many of these retest patterns, Frenchie, CRM and Path, they have to show us like they're coming in. A lot of these things are coming in now. You can see the cues, the spiders, they're coming in to fill the gap if they can begin to hold and stabilize. Like I mentioned in the futures, if they stay at the top of their range and chop around there for an hour or so, then we got the potential for them to break out. And these beaten down things will, they'll find buyers in this gap. So let's just watch and see what happens here for a little bit.
Yeah, Alex, yeah, we're in this, as you know, but I said it's one of the best looking longs to add. VIX popping here as the horsemen are falling. LMT up alarm, got an upgrade. All right, let's tighten our stop on this now to break. Well, actually, we can tighten it right under this bar. 1213.
Mags, that ETF is dropping and it's got room to fall. So unless the semiconductors could break out, I don't know what's going to lift the Qs up off the mat.
Netflix low alarm. That was a short I posted. Wow, I didn't think it would trigger with the market capping up, but now the Qs fill the gap. Are the weakest. So yeah, it's a go. That's the one we were contemplating doing half a lot on Tuesday, but we lost nothing by not doing it early. XLE. Let's tighten stop on this. 85.48. Whirlpool up alarm. Wow. Behind in alerts here. So we had LMT and Whirlpool. Our put spread ideas. Let's go. Let's to, we almost have $2 gains. Let's go ahead and take a third. Yep, things look ugly. The video even revert, can't hold up the market by itself. $87.30. XME, I like. So 30-minute high. KWE, low alarm. This was a little piece of garbage we bought. A dig up alarm. I'm in that one. Yeah, I'm gonna sell a third of my dig also. Well, my dad's dig. Mention should. Okay, it's under 104. That's the entry on should. Yeah, no, it didn't go off. All right, I mentioned LMT. There's no reversal yet. What's the other one I mentioned? Whirlpool. It's early, but it closes like this. No, dig. Man, thanks are kind of bad. All right, cat alarm. I'll reset it. 30-minute high put spread idea, but I'm not in a rush to do any bold trades right now. Alarm 367. I like that LOW. 30-minute high. XME I mentioned. TLT was up higher pre-market. Flex, I got a post. That we did a half lot. And W whiskey is a go. Let's check the put department. I clean. Maybe well, it's nasty downtrend. Never mind. X8, my XHP alarm just went off. But that's what Greg was talking about earlier. Yeah, low is stronger than HD in terms of the turn. Whiskey. This is what I posted. Pre-market. I'm short puts that expire tomorrow. The naked ones. Cat up alarm. I'm short the 41 and a halves for tomorrow. And there's 0 by 8 cents. So I'm going to bid a penny just for insurance purposes. If I get filled next week, 42.37. I got spread in midpoint only 29, so that's not going to get filled. Cat, cat. Let me check puts again. Wow, IWM is crazy mover. Slam back down and just took out the high. Now it's spread some cat 33 by 68. $360 next to wow, too spready. I forgot, Alex, but I got naked puts on this when you first mentioned it. I got naked 14 puts. And they're 5 cents by 35. I'm gonna bid a dime. It's fixing me. I love these new low reversals. Um, so let's watch this on a small retracement now. All right, there's HRI. Let's watch this. And we can do let's do the 56 foot spread for next week. 56, 53, 40 cents. Let's do it. Ah, that's 15 days. That's why. All right, I'm still going to do it. I'm not filled yet. I was about to post it to the weekly. Yeah, and yeah, I got 2 trades posted. Yeah, I like that pattern. Love it actually. CNC up alarm. Let's tighten the stop right under here. 60.27. XEL. There you go, Sammy boy. Your XEL's triggering. 67.15. Really? I like Sammy boy. If he tells me that, I'll honor it. Why do I want to Get him in a bad mood. HNY. What does HNY mean? This is yeah, XLU, sure. I mean, Kalu. I'm not sure the target, but beautiful bottoming tail new low reversal again on support. So I love it. Sure. Just go into trail mode. That's well, that'd be $3. Yeah, you can buy it stuff. Light volume. Yeah, then only 6,600. IWM up alarm. We have a nice restaurant in town called Kaluz. Kaluz. IWM looks great. Looks great. Target 20 MA. Let's do another put spread for next week. That's a night, the day's not over. I get all that. But well, let's is there a 10 o'clock number? I forgot. All right, there's 218. Anyone? Is there 10 a.m. number? Just don't know whether to wait or not. All right, we'll do a half lap here then. Some of these fangs, crazy reversals now. Look at that reversal. Google, Google's, take a step back.